It's the Joel Shit Show featuring Joel Shit. Hi, welcome to the Joel Shit Show. I'm your host, Joel Shit. So if you recall the day before yesterday, not so good in the gaming department, down about $800, and you know, there's a trip in the ATM in the forecast, but things continue to be that bad. I mean, surely things would not turn around just because I would want them to, right? That's why I play the games. So first up, I had to go to Ellis Island because I had free slot play, which they don't put on your card till the next day, so now I have to go back to Ellis Island before the end of the year to get it, which kind of annoys me because I don't want to go today and then do a second trip. They don't give you anything, they just put it on my card, but they tell you to wait. So they have not so ugly deuces and quarters, so I ran $100 through and I didn't get anything. No 5 of a kinds, no wild royals, nothing. So it was a 5 times points day, so I got about 1,400 points, then I was down another $100, a 280 coin in, which in quarters is kind of hard to do. Usually you get more than that out of $100 when you play quarters. So then it was time to go downtown. I'm talking downtown to Fitzgerald's. Now, of course, when Fitzgerald's was in Reno, I was the second tier, not the bottom tier, but the one above it. Emerald, Shamrock, I don't know, Rainbow. So not the bottom, not the top, the one in the middle. Whatever it was called, I got that. $75 comp in the restaurant, 2 free nights every quarter. It was one of the only times I really gamed with the system. It's one of the only times I intentionally played a negative expectation game extra, just to guarantee that I would have that status, because it was really awesome to know I could stay in their crappy rooms with their slow elevators. But that's about a Reno trip. We're not talking about Reno, we're talking about Las Vegas. Downtown, in fact. Still talking downtown. So I signed up for a club card, and they said for every 50 points you get, which is $250 coin in, you will get $5 in free play. So that's a 2% bonus. And I said, that's good. Despite that, though, I'm just going to run $100 through. I'm not going to extend myself for the bonus because I don't want to maximize my coupons. Because I remember 7 years ago when I had triple points up to 15,000, and I lost $1,700 playing $10.7 double bonus because I went 8 hours without a 4 of a kind, and I sat there playing and playing and playing and losing and losing and losing. I don't want to do that again, which is funny because back then I didn't have the means. That really hurt when that happened. But now if I did that, it wouldn't be so bad. Regardless. So that was actually number 2 now that I think about it. Those are the Green Valley Ranch days. But again, this story is about this trip. So I put $100 in, it's 400 credits, 10-7 double bonus, and I get 11 4 of a kinds. I play for 4 hours. The machine only can hold 1,000 credits, so every time you get an award that puts you over 1,000, it gives it to you in quarters instead. So by the time I use up the 1,000 credits in the machine that I had built up, I had $118.75 in quarters in the tray, which means that I made $18.75 plus I got 675 points, which for those that can't do math, that means I got $65 in free play for the points. So I couldn't use the free play on that machine. I said, well, what am I going to do? I walked around, and Fitzgerald's is kind of old in downtown Las Vegas, like everything there is, so they've got some older machines. And I saw a double diamond haywire machine, and I said, oh, I remember haywire. A friend of mine loves haywire. I enjoy it. I've played it before. One of the first people I ever went to Tahoe with back in the late 90s loved haywire machines. I was like, I'll do it for them. So put in my card and get my $65 free play put on the machine. And it's a 2-coin quarter machine, so it's 130 spins, which to me is a bit arduous. Now, there was no bonus for the second coin. The jackpot was 1,600 instead of 800. So that means I could have done 260 single coin spins without penalty, and then that would have reduced the volatility and increased the chance that I would get more money in the end. The slot machine payouts are top heavy. But I didn't want to sit there for 260 spins. It was pretty boring to me. So I did 130 spins at 2 quarters each, and among the other things I got were a triple bar and 2 double diamonds, which is $80. And then I got 3 bars for $5, but it haywired 3 times, so I got $20 for that, and I ended up cashing out $146 for the free play. The 65 became 146, so alright. I went, cashed that in, and I said, oh, things are turning around a little bit. I made $164.75 here at Fitzgerald's, and that takes a bite out of the money that I lost this morning and the day before, I had said at the time. Well, next on my list is the Four Queens. Coincidentally, it's right across the street, alphabetically on my list too, so I walked across the street to the Four Queens. It's already dark out because I played for 4 hours. And I had to sign up for the slot club there because the last time I had a card there was probably that same trip 8 years ago when I went to Green Valley Ranch after Four Queens when I went alphabetically. And so I remember before I had a 10-7 double bonus in progressive dollars, and I needed 10,000 points to get Jelly Bellies, and so I think it cost me $15 to get 10,000 points. So that was a pretty good trip in that I got all that action, and then they sent me so many offers in the mail, and I never used any of them. Complete waste of time. If I were smarter, I would not play at so many casinos, but it's fun. I like getting mail. That's why I do it. So that was so long ago, I'm not in their computer anymore. So I got to sign up for a new card, and I got, for 10 points, I would get $10 in slot play. For 50 points, I would get a free gift, and every point is $20 on those machines. So 200 coin in, 1,000 coin in. 1,000 coin in on $100? Well, I just did the equivalent across the street. Maybe it'll happen here. As I'm looking for the slot club, a fight breaks out. There's some slot machines, and all I see is some guy in a Green Bay Packers jersey wailing on some guy and yelling, like, not like controlled attacking yelling, like, I'm threatening you, ah, but like he was losing it, like he was going insane, like, I don't know what's going on, ah! So that's scarier. And so security shows up. And, I'm not the kind to watch those types of things, because if it's really that big of a deal, I'll see it on the news. I did tweet about it though, and it's funny, I haven't looked because I gave up on trying to get a wireless card to work up here. But I know that if this happened in the Bay Area, that Four Queens would be one of those trending hashtags, or whatever they call it on the homepage, where it shows the top 10 hashtags, or the top 10 keywords, or whatever they call it. But I don't think it really made much of a ripple. I was probably the only person to tweet about it. So search for the Four Queens hashtag and see if there's anything on there besides what I said. I'll check later if I remember, and I probably will not. So I signed up for a card. Go to the 10-7 double bonus. I run $160. Wait, no, that's not right. I run $300 through the machine, and then I run out of money. So I get my $10 for slot play, so that's 2 more hands, and one of the hands was a push, so I got 3 hands out of that. So I ended up with 16 points, and I got back in line and said, here's my double my points up to 500 coupon from the American Casino Guide. And she goes, you only got 16 points. I said, I know, but that's all I'm going to get because your machines don't like me. So I got 32 points. So that was a complete waste of a coupon, except I can use that coupon again the next time I'm in town if I'm so inclined. So, hooray for that, I suppose. Let's see. It was kind of refreshing to only play video poker for about 5 minutes. After, that's what, 64 hands? After having to play for 4 hours at Fitzgerald's across the street, where I also got a free shot glass. By the way, I used it as a card cover later that night, as I will get to. So I'm done at the Four Queens, and I gave back $100 of the $164.75 I just won, but I'm still up for those 2. I'm down for the day now because remember I lost 100 at Ellis Island too, but I'm only down $35.25 after 3 casinos, and that feels a lot better than how much I was losing the day before. So where's next? Gold Coast. Alright, I've been to the Gold Coast probably since that same trip in '02. See, there's a pattern here. So I drive down to the Gold Coast and I park. There's no the, it's just Gold Coast. Very few casinos have the word the in them. People put the in front of them. It's like they're all Southern California freeways. So I get out and I go to the slot club and I have a B connected card, and it's the letter B. So like the B vitamin, B12, B connected. and I got $10 in free slot play just for signing up. I think. I don't remember. $5? I don't remember. Whatever it was. I say, okay, here's a match play for $5. And they said, okay, here is your certificate to take to the table. It's not a chip, it's not a little coupon, it's a big ass check. A real check, not a check like a chip, which is called a check by old school people. So I say, well, it's good for any even money bet, huh? I'm going to play craps because I need to watch other craps dealers and see how good they are. So I go and I buy it for $500, and I just pass line and come bets and raising the level every time the pass line bet pays off. And after about an hour and a half, I've won $988. So I cashed out $14.88, tipped $12 on the horn, doesn't hit. And I cash that in, and I say, oh, I got the video poker. So now I'm slightly ahead for the trip. Came all the way back. So hooray for that. So then I got to play double bonus deuces wild and dollars. I've never played double bonus deuces wild before. It's one of the newer games that came out in the last 5 years, I'd say. And it's at the near the elevators to bingo. So I find the machine and I sit down and I play for about 30 minutes on my $100, including my free play, whatever it was, I can't remember. And I got a wild royal, and the very next hand I got 5 fives. So that's like $375 at once. I'm up to about 500. It gets down to about 180. And then I get 5 aces. Remember, double bonus deuces wild. So 5 aces pays like 4 aces in double bonus, $800. 5 fives pays like 4 fives in double bonus, $250. Wild royal's always 125. So I'm up to 980, and I'm like, oh my God, if I can just get it over 1,000, I'll be done. Well, about 7 hands later, I get 4 of a kind, and it puts me over to 1,005. So all right, that's another plus 905 in the same casino. So for those 2 places, I'm up $14.93, and I am now ahead about $600–700 in the trip. But I still have to play in the poker room. So I go upstairs to the poker room, and I wonder, can lightning strike 3 times? I've got my Fitzgerald slot glass, shot glass, I'm all ready to go. All they have is 2-4. Okay, I'll play 2-4. All I've played on this trip is 2-4. So I sit down, seat number 5, very excited about seat number 5, and this guy in seat 8, 7 or 8. He's very drunk, and he's just not as funny as he thinks he is. And I get in a hand with him where he re-raises me. It's the Gold Coast, so it's like I can be aggressive and win because it's a bunch of old people, old locals playing. So I'm in early position with pocket threes, and I raise. It's a 2-4 game. I ought to remember that. So he's over in the hijack maybe, and he re-raises me, and I'm like, what? So the flop comes ace, king, king, and I'm like, oh, I'm totally going to fool him now, because I know he sucks, because I saw him playing a couple other hands. He can lay it down, I thought. So I bet again, and he raises me again. So I call, and the turn is a queen. Ace, king, king, and then queen, and so I check. I'm giving up, I have a pair of threes, I'm not going to win. He bets, and I fold. He decides to show he had king, queen of diamonds. So he re-raised me with king, queen of diamonds, which is actually a pretty good move. It's not one that I would do, but it's a pretty good move. I was surprised that he did it. And then he had 3 kings on the flop and kings full of queens on the turn. Now the thing is, if I had ace, king, or aces, I would be ahead of him. I don't think that occurred to him. I don't think he was raising to see where I was in the hand. He was raising because he had a good hand. So I was like, okay, I've got this guy figured out. I'm ready to go. In the next 5 minutes, one person busts out and 2 other people leave. We're down to 4 players. And then one guy gets up to go to the bathroom, and then another table, the other 2-4 table, has 5 open seats. So they're going to combine the tables, but our table has to move over there. And I don't like being moved to a new table. So I was like, all right, I'm leaving. So I lost $12, which in a 2-4 game, that's kind of tough to lose it that fast, but I managed to do it with my big pocket threes. So, and I embarrassed myself because the dealer was named Coco, and we had a DJ at KSCU named Coco, and she was Japanese like my grandma. So I looked at her and I was like, boy, I really can't tell, because my grandma could tell, I can't tell. And the guy that gave me my chips was from Yokohama, and he was Japanese. And I was like, oh, maybe she's Japanese too. So I said, oh, are you Japanese? She said, oh, no, I'm a Chinese. I was like, oh, man. Because it's embarrassing to me, right? But she gets that shit all the time. Are you kidding me? In Las Vegas, all the racism here, people always think that she's going to be something else. But I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were Japanese. My grandma's Japanese. Oh, no, I'm a Chinese. You know, whatever. She doesn't care. She's already forgotten about it. But it bothers me because I should know when someone's Japanese or Chinese. And my grandma, if she were dead, would turn over in her grave. And instead, she's just going to say she's very disappointed in me when she sees me in 10 days. She's going to be like, oh, how could you not tell the difference between a Japanese and a Chinese? You can tell by their eyes. It's like, Grandma, your eyes are just as bad. Oh, no, you can tell by the eyes. Okay, Grandma, thanks. So I get out of there with a $1,481 profit, so that's nice because I cashed in 68 of my 80 chips playing poker. Get in the car, next on the list is Golden Gate. I didn't think I'd have time to play at the Golden Gate, but I did only play poker for 12 minutes. So get in the car, drive downtown. It's getting cold outside. It was about 35 degrees. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to park at El Cortez as I want to do and then walk all the way to Golden Gate, the entire length of Fremont. That's about 5 blocks, so it's about 10 minutes in the cold, which isn't so bad. But then after I'm done and I walk back, I got to walk in the cold again. So I'm going to drive and see where else I can park. I've never parked anywhere else downtown besides the garage at El Cortez. I'm a traditionalist, man. And so, plus it's not usually this cold here. Even, it's unseasonably cold even for here. It does get cold in Las Vegas, but it doesn't usually get this cold. So, there you have it. Yeah, I know, 35 is cold, okay? And so I go to Golden Gate thinking they must have parking because they have a hotel. Well, they have valet parking, and it's free. And I was like, oh, what the hell? The entrance is right next to valet parking. That's kind of convenient. I'll spoil myself because I just had that big win. So Golden Gate, get 100 points, which is $100 coin in, get $20 in free play. Sign up for a card, get $5 in free play. Get a free deck of cards. Where's my deck? Here it is. Yes, it's at that website. Check out my cards. See these cards? I got this deck of cards. It's my deck. Check out my cards. All right. So I get my match play. I go to the craps table. It's good on even money bets. Let's see if I can make lightning strike twice. Now, Golden Gate has 10 times odds for the craps. I am not interested in playing 10 times odds, progressing my bet 5, 10, 15, 20, because that's $100, $150, $200. That's too extreme for me. I am not FACO. I cannot do extreme FACO. So instead, I say I'm going to do 5, 10, 15, 20 on the pass line like I would have, but instead of come bets, I'm just going to place all the other numbers. So I told the guy I'm going to do 26 or 7 across, and every time one hits you go up 1 unit and give me the rest. He says okay. So I played for about 45 minutes and I lost $265 and said that's enough. So then I had to play my video poker to get my points, to get my free slot play, and they have 9-6 double-double bonus at the bar. So bar top 98.8%, except the bar top's kind of wasted on me here because they don't have sparkling water in the bottle anyway, so I got to drink, bottled water. Oh boy. So I play and I get like $400 coin in, but no 4 of a kinds, nothing that makes double-double bonus fun. That game really drains your money if you don't have 4 of a kind, but people like it because if you get 4 of a kind, some of them pay up to $2,000, so that's pretty exciting. So I get my points, go back to the slot club, get my free play, go back to the bar, play it off, don't hit anything. So I lost 100 there and 265 there, so I lost 365 at Golden Gate. I forgot that the next place on the list was Golden Nugget, which is right down the street. I could have walked there, taken care of that, but I didn't get those coupons out of the car. And it was 11:50, and I said, all right, I'm just going to go back to the hotel because I'm in too deep. So I go to here at the Encore, and it's too early to go to bed. And I said, you know what, since I'm up a little bit, I'll take a chance. I'll play some craps here and try to earn my keep. Maybe the offers that I get next won't suck so bad. Because I only did the $250 when I first checked in, and I haven't played at all here otherwise. And that's not very much, and I would not expect that they're going to send me this nice room and $150 in free play again, no matter how bad the economy is. So I played for about 35 or 40 minutes, and my $1,000 ended up with $998. I did the same thing I did at Gold Coast where I started with a $10 table. So $10 flat bet, 20, 30, 40, 50, 3, 4, 5 odds, just like Gold Coast. And so $998. And then when I left, I tipped $8 on the horn for the dealer, and the dealer shot, or the shooter shot a 2. So $70 tote for the dealers. So actually 6 3/4 is what it's supposed to pay, and then 8 times 6 3/4, 48 plus 6 is 54, but then they get the $8, so it's a $62 payout. 6 3/4, huh? I'm at the top. I mean, my trainers would know. So it's 2 pays 70, and then you take the 8. Oh, that's why, because it pays 30 to 1. So 2 pays 60. 60 minus 6 is 54. So yeah, 6, it's 6 3/4, just like I said. So $54 tip plus the $8, so $62 for the dealers. They appreciate that, although at the Wynn, they get those kind of tips anyway. I really would have preferred that my tips at Golden Gate or Gold Coast hit, because they need the tips more than the Wynn dealers. But such that it is, and of course now the floor people get some of that money too, but whatever, I'm not here to fight that battle. So then I went to bed, and so for the day I was up about $400 or $500, no more than that. I was up about $1,200-1,300, and I'm pretty happy about that because I'm up for the trip. I've still got time to be a loser for the trip, but I can only be so much of a loser this trip, so I'm not too upset about it. Well, that's all the time we have today. Visit us on the web at joelshitshow.com. Email joel@joelshitshow.com.